Now, of course, when we typically think of Googans, we think of the good old checkbook captains, those people who went out, got into boating with no real training, but the reality is Googans come in many different sizes and many different forms. Kind of like we can see here, as this is obviously a commercial vessel, which means it should have a commercially licensed captain behind the helm. It is nighttime, however, maybe they're all taking a nap, you never quite know, maybe they're texting and driving, none of this I recommend, and our captain's about to pay the price. Welcome back, crew, to this episode of Googans of the Week. You always think the Googans would learn their lesson the first time, but then it's always the same. 10 years later, we see them come back and do it again. One thing you never want to do to the Googans is tell them they can't do something, kind of like you guys always do in the comments when you say you can't sink a pontoon boat. You gotta be careful because you guys are doing nothing more than giving the Googans a challenge to try and accomplish. While I've heard it many times you can't sink a pontoon boat, of course you can definitely go out there and sink a monohull. One of the most common questions we actually get asked is how do things like this happen? Well, obviously the first one's not being subscribed to the channel. That means the Drain Plug Mafia comes out and they probably stole your drain plug. But there are many other fittings that are below the waterline on a boat that can easily give out and allow water to get in. But the good news, as seen in the images here, just because the water got in doesn't mean somebody can't pump it back out and you'll be back on your way, maybe someday. Struggling to get your boat on plane? Here's a tip for you.
Can't plane out, gotta put everybody on the bow, even the captain.
This crew's decided to take the opposite path of our last boater. Instead of getting everybody in the bow to get it up on plane, they've tossed some people in the water and are going to drag them behind the boat. Definitely not something I recommend. Always got to make sure you check that weather before you head down to the boat ramp and try and enjoy a day on the water. I can't tell if the jet ski's not looking where he's going or the boat's not looking where they're going, but it's even worse. It looks like they almost dropped the anchor on him intentionally. But still, whatever it was, somebody made a pretty bad mistake here. Here we'll watch it again in a little bit slower motion where we can get a better angle, but you'll see the jet ski comes in and watch the anchor on the boat. As soon as they hit, these guys just drop it and try and anchor up over at the sandbar. Based on the condition of this jet ski though, it's tough to tell who actually is probably at fault in this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Aha Sava, Big PJ Taylor, Calumet IS, Destiny Ortiz, Giddish, Jeff Hoffman, Jimmy Johnson, and Josh Clement did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.